Hi, you know, with the rising cost of food, whether you make it from scratch or buy it at the store, you just don't want to throw away the leftovers. So what are you going to do? Hi, I'm Lynn Sharp, and stay tuned because I'm going to show you what to do with those leftover cinnamon rolls. This is Eating Sharp. Hi, welcome back. If you haven't figured it out already, I'm going to make some bread pudding with the cinnamon rolls that we had left over. Now you'll want to dice them up. They don't have to be perfect. A quarter to a half inch to an inch square is fine. Go ahead and spray your pan with some cooking spray, and then go ahead and put the diced cinnamon rolls right into the pan. Now you can add some extra raisins to this or nuts, depending on if your cinnamon rolls already had nuts and raisins. I'm going to leave these plain, so I'm going to set these aside. So in this bowl, now this recipe is going to make one pan. So if you have multiple pans, you'll need to double, triple, or expand the recipe as needed. Now the key to this recipe is the ratio of eggs to the milk. And it's 2 eggs per cup of milk or cream. This tip here is the same tip that I use when I make custards or even quiche. It's 2 eggs to a cup of cream. Okay? So I've got 4 eggs in here, and I'm going to go ahead and beat these. Now I let them sit out at room temperature. They just seem to work better when they're a little warmer than when they're ice cold right out of the fridge. So I'm going to go ahead and mix these up, and while I do that, you guys take a break and we'll add the rest of the ingredients to this, and we'll get it into the pan, and we'll bake this delicious bread pudding. We'll be right back. Hi, welcome back. I've got the eggs really whipped well. And to the eggs, I'm going to add about a quarter of a cup of sugar. Now you can go a little sweeter if you want, or you can back off depending on how sweet your cinnamon rolls were to start with. But I'm putting a quarter cup in, and I like to get that well blended with the eggs. It just seems to work better if you blend that sugar really good in the eggs. Okay? Just about like that. Now to this, we're going to add, of course, our 2 cups of milk because we have the 4 eggs. So here's the one, and here's the other one. Now you don't have to use cinnamon rolls to do this bread pudding. You can use any bread that you like. Just make sure you make it sweet enough and that you put some raisins and different things in it to make it nice. So I like to then go ahead and just mix the milk in. Okay, just about like that. Now you want to add a couple of teaspoons, maybe even a tablespoon of vanilla, just like that. Whoops. I like to add a little bit of nutmeg to it as well. It's probably less than a quarter of a teaspoon, probably an eighth of a teaspoon. And then a little cinnamon also, a little extra cinnamon in there. And this too is not very much. It's probably an eighth to a fourth of a teaspoon. Now I'm going to go ahead and blend this together. Making sure I get all that cinnamon down into the milk and the eggs. Just like that. Now I'm going to go ahead and just pour it right over the bread pudding. You don't have to worry about getting all of the bread coated, because what we're going to do is we're going to push the bread down. Let me get this spoon to get the last of the goodness out of the bowl here. And then we're going to just press the bread down to make sure it's coated evenly on all the cinnamon roll or bread, whichever you've chosen to use. Now I've also found that this recipe works best if I let it sit a good 5 to 10 minutes before placing it into the oven. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure these are all poked down. I'm going to set it to the side, and I'll poke them down again in a little bit. But I'll set those to the side like that, and then I'll turn on my oven. So it can heat up while these are soaking up all the egg and the the egg and the milk gets soaked up by the cinnamon rolls. So take a break and we'll be right back. Hi, welcome back. Now this bread pudding took about an hour and 10 minutes until a knife came out clean right in the center. Now it really puffed up in the oven, and then as it cools it goes back down. So make sure you put a sheet pan underneath it because you will get a few drips from this recipe. You can see the nice golden brown. Nothing is really burnt on the top. It's going to taste really good. I have a slice here. Now the best thing you can do with this is you can either chill it and serve it cold, or you can serve it slightly warm with a little ice cream or a little whipped cream. Let me go ahead and taste this. Hopefully it's not too hot and I burn my tongue. That is heaven. It's moist. You can taste the cinnamon, the nutmeg. This particular one has a few nuts in it and a little bit of raisins, and you can taste them too. It is, it is really delicious. Warm, soothing. It smells so great, and the whole house smells great too. So here's you another recipe to use up some of those leftovers that you have around the house. So this is Lynn Sharp with Eating Sharp and Eat Well. And remember, it's all about the food. Bye-bye. Delicious.